Welcome back. It's Boomer TV. I'm Paul Poteet.
I'm Julie Patterson, and we're so glad you're here tonight to watch this episode. You're going to enjoy it.
Every week on WFYI, just the same way that John Stair has been on every night. So many years. That man deserves a break.
He does deserve a break. He's going to take one, actually. He's retiring. He wants to, so I guess we're okay with that. You're going to meet him tonight on our show.
He's about to move on to the next chapter. We are positive that things will be great for him. Very positive.
I know why you said that, because of Glenn Bill. He's someone you'll meet tonight.
Positive.
He a very successful entrepreneur, but yeah, his whole thing is about being positive and how that can play into your life and make things work out well. So we'll see what he has to say.
The older I get, I think there's more to that.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Are you positive?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Positive. Okay, also on the show tonight, a magician. He's a 50-plus person. He's been practicing magic locally for more than 40 years. You're going to find out where you can actually see this guy. I didn't even know this was around, but you'll find out more about him tonight.
Find out so much on this show. And then Ryan Feeney makes Peyton Manning appear out of nowhere in a big statue. He's a sculptor here in our area.
So that bronze sculpture down at Lucas Oil Stadium, he made it. He created it. Boy, I've got questions.
Yeah, we'll we'll look around his studio and see how do you do something like that? And can you do one of me and Julie?
Oh, I don't think
Probably
that's
not. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Oh, the speed drum. When's the last time you were on the east side and you went?
It's been a while since I've been there, but that's a fun place to go.
We're going to do a story tonight on the show about the speed drum. Find out maybe some of your favorite things they used to do in the 80s, like the figure eight, demolition derby.
Oh, I love that stuff.
Anyway, are they still doing that tonight? We'll find out.
Get ready to hold your breath when you watch that. Through the whole show. I would hold my breath too. Here we go. You ready?
I'm not doing it.
It's coming up here on Boomer TV. Boomer TV is made possible with support from
Westport Homes, dedicated to building homes for every chapter of life, with plans and details that match a customer's specific needs and style. More information on Westport Homes' lifestyle collection, including community locations, at westport-home.com.
Unique Home Solutions, serving more than 30,000 homeowners since 1983. Providing home remodeling services from minor updates to complete renovations with a mission to improve appearance and efficiency. More at uniquehomesolutions.org.
Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt Lawyers, helping people with business and estate planning. More information is available at apwlawyer.com.
When I was growing up, Paul, I had this teacher, and she would say, attitude check, and we'd all have to be like, okay, check your attitude, get it together, turn it around. That's kind of what she meant by that. You're going to meet somebody who led Indy's second annual Attitude Fest. What do you think that's going to be about?
It's going to be uplifting.
I agree.
Wait a minute. I know it's going to be uplifting. There.
Let's show him.
It's working already.
Meet Mr. Bill.
Happy Global Attitude Awareness Day! Let her go!
Hi, Glenn.
Hi.
Hey, listen, I understand you've just come off, what is it, the second annual 2018 Attitude Fest?
Yes.
That was in Broad Ripple, right?
Yeah, Broad Ripple Park. We rented the whole park.
Well, tell us a little bit about that and why you feel the need to have a Attitude Fest.
Right. Well, you know, it's as you look around and as you look about what influences people, right? There's all these external influences, and so most of those external influences are negative. So we said, you know what? Let's come up with one day where everybody commits to being positive, and let's have an event that has nothing but positive messaging and positive activities for people to help enhance and boost their attitude.
No small goal for you, huh?
No small goal for me, right. So we started what's called the Attitude Movement, which is a worldwide movement, and we have what's called Global Attitude Awareness Day. April was Attitude Awareness Month. We really tried to create a festival that was full of competition, that was full of state change. We did yoga in the park, we did kettlebell exercises, we did football throws, we did frisbee tosses, we did a attitude mural where everybody painted it. We do face painting for kids. So, you know
that's
what?
important.
Engagement and activity and moving and even competition, we know is extremely healthy for the soul and the attitude. And so that's what we did there.
Give us the real scoop on attitude and why it's important to our viewers.
Right. So, you know, it all begins with a definition, as everything does. And most people don't understand even how to define attitude. And Webster tells us that attitude is the way you dedicate yourself to the way you think. And the thing that's so powerful about that definition is that there's dedication, which means it's a choice. Attitude is about a choice, and it's about the way you think. And what we help people do is understand why they think the way they think, why they feel the way they feel. Then we help them break down that pattern, and then we help them create their own new empowering pattern. So that's what the University of Attitude does.
You've got a University of Attitude.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We do a lot of work with companies on aligning the attitude of their employees, of their customers, and of their peers. So that's what the mission of the University of Attitude is to change the world one attitude at a time, and to be America's or the world's #1 resource for attitude development.
So in that piece, the University of Attitude, you are working with business leaders and people like of that ilk, trying to help them create a climate, an environment where there's a positivity in the workplace.
And a place to go for answers, right? We always say, and I always say, attitude is relevant to a ditch digger, to Elon Musk, right? It works for everybody.
It's been a pleasure, Glenn
Thank you
Bell.
very much. I
Well,
appreciate it.
for Boomer TV, this is Lou Stoops.
You're still here? Great. Because everybody loves Peyton Manning, right?
Oh my gosh! I mean, if you go back and think, it's got to be him and Reggie for the biggest sports
Love 'em.
icons to ever come out of this town.
If we could have made a sculpture out of gold for Peyton, we probably would have. Couldn't afford that.
I think his bankers are doing that.
Well, maybe yours they could afford it. Anyway, the bronze sculpture that you see at Lucas Oil Stadium, we're going to meet the gentleman who made that.
Interesting story here about Ryan Feeney.
We're at Indie Art Forge today with Ryan Feeney, metal worker. What exactly does metal worker mean? Is that the right title?
It's probably not. I would say metal sculptor.
Okay.
So it's like, metal worker does welding on lawnmower decks and all these other side things. I do bronze statues, steel statues, aluminum statues, stainless steel. So I work with exotic metals.
What's your favorite thing to make?
Bronze statues by far.
Yeah, and you made a pretty big one.
Yes, a 9-foot tall Peyton Manning on a 4-foot pedestal. So he was about 14 feet tall total.
Wow, and that's right outside Lucas Oil Stadium, right?
Can't miss it.
I know you have a piece of it back here. You want to show it to us?
Absolutely.
Let's go take a look. Can I hold him? Little baby Peyton.
So this would be a maquette. So a smaller version is made. You kind of get a 3-dimensional version of what the big one's going to be like, and it's easy to change the small one than the big one. I make a small version. This is kind of the smaller head, and then from here you can do 2 different things. You can get a 3-dimensional image of this and get it printed from a computer, or you can just sculpt it out of clay or out of steel and styrofoam or plaster, and then certain little tiny parts like this will not cast. So I fabricated the face mask out of 1/2-inch bronze bar. So this is what the statue, when molds were being pulled off of, this became this.
Did you start as a sculptor?
I did. I graduated from Miami of Ohio with a degree in graphic design and sculpture. So during graphic design classes, because I didn't think I could get a job as a sculptor. And since then, I've done the Fallen Sheriff's Memorial out in front of the jail. And then we did a firefighter statue out in front on College, Mass Avenue in St. Clair. And then one that's not related to bronzing, I did a pea stove made of about 1,000 gun parts.
Is that the one at the Central Library? Yes. Okay.
So, and guns would be brought into me in bags, confiscated from criminals, and then I cut them up and I made it into a 9-foot wingspan.
Well, you have a lot of different projects going on around here. You want to take us around a little bit? Ryan, you have so many different projects, so many different possibilities of things you can make. And thank you so much for showing us around today. We really appreciate it. I'm Mel McMahon for Boomer TV.
Boomer TV continues now. Are we going to saw you in half in this segment? Is it going to be horizontally, vertically? How's this going to work?
If we do that, we're making you disappear.
The wonderful world of magic, and a guy who's very familiar with it here in Central Indiana.
Yeah, his name is Taylor Martin. He's been locally doing shows for like 40 years. You're going to meet him next.
Hocus pocus, chicken-bones chocus. Why it's a magic word, nobody knows. But I like this one. In fact, everybody repeat after me. Veritas, which means truth. Volendo, which means to deceive. And if you say veritas, volendo, truth by means of deception, you easily remove the bullet from the block without removing the ribbon. And that's how I became a member of the Magicians Guild of London all those years ago. Thank you.
Well, this is Taylor Martin. He's with Indie Magic Monthly, the producer, the creator. When did you come up with this?
10 years ago,
Okay.
at Theater on the Square with Ron Spencer. It was on a handshake. I said, you want to start a magic show? He said, what do you mean? I'm going to do a monthly magic show. I said, okay, write it up, and that was it. And we did it. It started on April 1st, 2008, which is really easy to remember
Yeah.
because it's April Fool's Day. What a great day for a magic show, right?
Yeah, sure, why not?
And it all comes out of the fact that Illusions closed. I don't know how many people remember the
remember
restaurant Illusions, and there were a lot of magicians here who still needed to work. And now we've gone through a lot of them, and we've had international stars. We've had people from France and from Australia, Canada, even Wisconsin. You know, it's just wonderful.
Yeah, cheese country.
Cheese
It's
country,
important.
yeah.
So when did you become entranced with magic?
I was about 6.
Okay, young.
And I had been interested in magic, and then when I was about 7, my father had me clean out his dresser drawer, and I found these very strange objects. And I said, what are these? He says, I will show you tonight. You know, mostly people think it's going to be something strange. No, they were Chinese sticks. There was a magic trick. He did it for me, and I said, wow. And so my dad was the person who sort of got me going, and to this day, he's very proud of that. You know, he's 95 now.
That's awesome.
So he's way beyond Boomer.
Are there magicians that you admire that you've gone and seen their show and you've got to meet?
Oh yeah, I've gotten to be friends with them. Yeah, Penn and Teller.
Wow.
Let's see who else. Johnny Thompson, the great Tom Sony, who they just did a movie on Showtime.
Oh, okay.
And well, Lance Burton. You know, I've gotten to be friends
I've
with
seen him.
Yeah, Lance
Vegas.
is wonderful. And probably hundreds of others who have all appeared at Indie Magic Monthly.
Really?
Over the years, yeah. We've had, well, Francis Minotti, who was the person who was advising the television show Deception. He was here for our anniversary this year.
Cool.
We've had Eugene Berger, who is considered one of the great magicians of the 20th century. Now that we're sorry he's gone, you know, we miss him. But you know, I've gotten to be friends with a lot of these folks, and the people that come to Indie Magic are usually all friends of mine, or I've met somewhere, or they call me up and say, hey, I've got a new act, can I break it in? They do. So.
That's who you know?
Yep, that's it.
Tell me about tonight's show. Who are we going to see?
Tonight, we're going to have from Kokomo Obtuse, who is one of our regulars. He comes and does about 2 a year. He also designs a lot of our posters and art.
You like that card? I love it. Could you show everybody why?
We have the amazing Barry, who I told he couldn't come to another show until he got up on stage and did magic, and that was like 8-9 years ago. And now he's going all around the world and doing magic, and he's also going to be performing at the Society of American Magicians Convention in July in Orlando, Florida. The act tonight he's doing will be that.
It only enhances as more time begins to pass. And you see these 4 cards actually each are missing a piece.
And then we also have from Columbus, Ohio, an old friend who hasn't been here in a long, long time, a gentleman named Carol Baker. And he's one of the hardest working magicians out there. He's always working at a restaurant, or he's doing a daycare center or a birthday or something like that. And he's just an amazing guy.
You're going to send the color of the card up the shaft, down the cable. It's going to land inside your noggin, and you're going to tell him what color the card he is thinking of.
You're a boomer, and we love that you're still doing this.
Yep.
And being successful at it, and we admire that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a great night and a better day tomorrow. We appreciate it.
Okay, for this segment, you're going to meet a local personality in a way that you've never seen him before.
It's kind of interesting because you see somebody in the same role all the time, and that's their job. That's just the way it works. It's like when people see me and there's not a weather map behind me in real life.
Exactly right.
Wow, so you're like a real person. You're about to meet the real person who's about to leave a job that he's had for years and years, and Amanda Clark is going to introduce us to John Stair.
We're here with Indianapolis television legend, John Stair. Thank you so much for having us here in your home, because you've been in our homes for a very long time. It really means a lot to us to be here. Talk to me a little bit about what comes to mind when you think about the span of your career here in Indianapolis.
Oh my gosh, it's been 23 years, which, as you know, is a lifetime in television. Actually, it's 2 lifetimes in television. And I really feel like I've been enormously blessed to be here, to be in this community, to be part of Channel 13. I think I'm very proud of what we've been able to do all those years, and I can look back and be very satisfied with the career that I've had.
You kind of think through the highlight reel. Are there certain things that stick out that'll stay with you forever, that you'll tell the stories?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things I think that I've been able to do while I was here, in 2002, we went to Russia with Senator Lugar. And that was in the height of the nuclear threat reduction program. And we traveled all through Russia with him for about 2 weeks and took a look at what he was doing to make the world a safer place. And that was a documentary that we did that was Emmy Award winning. A lot of people paid attention to, and I think it was really important, really an important story to do.
Now, you've just recently made the announcement about retirement, and our audience is made up of boomers.
Yes.
Talk to us about that decision and kind of making that, it's a big life decision, especially a career that you love. You're not walking away because you don't love it.
Well, I think I'm walking away because, I've been doing it for so long, and I think it's time to devote my attention and energies toward some other things. As you probably know, I had heart surgery last year, and, when you're in that situation, you really don't have the energy to do anything but sit. So when you sit, you tend to think. And I thought, it's time to not work nights anymore. It's time to, not devote so much time and energy toward the job that I have and the job that I love. And it's time to, think about some other things and look at other ways that I can help in the community and, be more present for my family. And I'm really optimistic. I think it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, what does that next chapter kind of look like for you?
I'm leaving in June. And after June, we're going to be starting to build a new house, so I can spend a few months trying to get that project underway and get that squared away. I'm the chairman of a big fundraiser for the St. Vincent Cardiovascular Research Institute, which is going to be in August, so that'll, I think, take a lot of time and attention this summer. And then after that, we'll see. I mean, I'm open to maybe having another job somewhere down the line. And I still have my job at Channel 13. I'm going to be taking part on a limited basis for the next couple of years. I'll fill in maybe here and there and come back for race day morning and come back for the Circle of Lights, which is something that's important to us. So I'm still going to keep a toe in the water without feeling like I have to tread water every day.
Now, you have worked in other markets, lived all over the place. What was it about Indianapolis that you said, this is where we're gonna plant some roots?
Well, I was at CBS News in New York, and I was a correspondent, and I was traveling a lot. And that's a hard life, especially when you have a young family. And when I got the call from the news director here at Channel 13, I started thinking about, well, geez, I can have more of a life. I can have more balance in my life. And that was very attractive to me. Yes, I loved the network job and That's something a lot of people really aspire to. But coming here to Indianapolis really gave me the opportunity to be more present for my family, to have a regular schedule, and to really become involved and really get ingrained in a community.
For sure. Well, we hope you know how important you've been to this community here. We've been honored
Nice to say that.
to have you in our homes for a long, long time. And again, thank you for welcoming us here today. For now, I'm Amanda Clark with Boomer TV.
We're back on Boomer TV. I enjoy the whole figure eight thing and the demolition derby.
Demolition derby.
I feel like
Boom!
like a 9-year-old when I'm saying this, but it's true. I like to watch it, and then I'm usually like that.
But who crashes on purpose?
Right.
People at the speedrome. They do.
There's a whole business built around it, and a lot of entertainment too. Michael Atwood takes you there.
And here we go. Watching the fireworks up to the back stretch, and there we go. Drop of the green, and we're ready to rock and roll. The Circle City Pyrotechnics light up the sky down on the track. We're lighting it here.
We're at the Indianapolis Speedrome today, and a very historic racing facility built in 1941 and made famous for the sport of figure eight racing that was invented here in 1952.
Invented here at the Speedrome?
Invented here. The first figure eight race held in the world was held here in 1952. We had a gentleman come here the other day, said he was 9 years old. He was here at the very first figure eight race.
That is amazing. Tell me a little bit about, I guess, the genesis of that. They just got tired of just going around and making left turns all the time. What happened there?
The history of it and the myth and the legend is that they just had this idea is like, let's just go and see what happens going through the mud and going around back and forth through the crossover. And, the rest is history, as they say.
And what happens in a figure eight race?
So in figure eight race, it is just as you imagine. Cars race in a figure of eight, and cars are coming at each other in the crossover. They have to miss each other, and it is the most exciting thing, in my opinion, of racing out there, because there are so many near misses. I've been watching this sport since I was 6 years old. I'm 42, and I will still jump out of my seat for that near crossover collision that happens, 40, 50, 100 times during the course of a figure eight race.
And it is not the goal to slam into each other?
No, we're racing super unlimited unlimited horsepower late models here. They're upwards between $40,000, $50,000, $75,000 machines. So these aren't jalopies by any stretch of the imagination. These are high-powered, built specifically for racing here at the Speedrome.
And talk a little bit about what makes that figure eight that much more. It gives it that special excitement.
Oh, you can just imagine, thinking about how many times that these guys who are part science, part artists, racing on the racetrack, where they have to gauge at certain points of the racetrack if that gap is going to be there when they come to the intersection, and then doing it around and doing it on the other direction. And you're not just racing the cars that you're racing with, nose to tail, but you're also racing with those guys who are coming at you at the other crossover, the other end of the racetrack. So it's really much a science, and it takes years for the best of the best drivers who are our drivers here at the Speedrome to become proficient in it. A lot of mileage, a lot of laps, and a lot of hurt race cars.
And I think there's a bigger and an older brother somewhere over in the Speedway area, and I wonder how the Speedrome is kind of like the little forgotten brother in some ways.
Well, it's very interesting. I mean, without the short tracks and the grassroots racing, there would be no guys racing on that 2.5 mile oval. So, but many of the stars of yesteryear, AJ Foyt and Mario Andretti and Darrell Waltrip drove for my father here at the Speedrome. Tony Bettenhausen, Kenyon. I mean, just the names of the sports in the 50s and 60s. They raced here at the Speedrome, and many times they would say, you'd hear an old timer say, if you can win at the Speedrome, you can win anywhere. And that's just that's kind of the reputation that the Speedrome had here for over 70 years. So
I knew there was heritage here. I just wasn't aware the depth of that heritage.
For me, it's the Indy 500, and then it's the World Figure Eight Championship right there. That's my rankings of races in the world.
Jonathan Bird, thanks for taking us a few figure eight laps around the Indianapolis Speedrome. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
You.
And for Boomer TV, I'm Michael Atwood.
There you have it, another edition of Boomer TV.
Yeah, it was good, don't you think?
Good stories, good times.
What?
You know, the last time around, you had those great jokes
Yeah.
at the end of the show.
Yes.
What about, do you have any good knock-knock material?
Well, as long as we don't do blonde jokes, I am good. So.
Oh, wait a minute.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting.
Moo. You like that one?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Dwayne.
Dwayne who?
Dwayne in the bathtub. I'm drowning. That is the first joke I can remember, like memorizing when I was. You've never heard that?
No, and I'm sorry, I cackled like a witch. I've been told I do that.
Get
I
out.
apologize.
You've never heard that?
No, I haven't heard that one. Heard a lot more, so maybe next week you'll hear them. Thanks for watching.
See you then. Thanks.
Yeah.
See you on Boomer TV.
Yeah.
For more all things Boomer, just visit our website. That's indieboomer.com. Indie Boomer connects TV, magazine, and radio. It contains useful information for baby boomers all over the Indianapolis metropolitan area. And you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Pick up Indie Boomer magazine at most Kroger stores and libraries. Look for us all over Indy.
Listen to Boomer Radio every Saturday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. on Freedom 95 with a rebroadcast Sundays at 7:30. Indie Boomer, for the next chapter of your life.
Boomer TV is made possible with support from
Westport Homes, dedicated to building homes for every chapter of life, with plans and details that match a customer's specific needs and style. More information on Westport Homes' lifestyle collection, including community locations, at westport-home.com.
Unique Home Solutions, serving more than 30,000 homeowners since 1983. Providing home remodeling services from minor updates to complete renovations with a mission to improve appearance and efficiency. More at uniquehomesolutions.org.
Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt Lawyers, helping people with business and estate planning. More information is available at apwlawyer.com.